Hello. Welcome to another installment of the Central American Group's podcast, in which experts discuss topics related to doing business in Costa Rica, El Salvador, and the rest of the region.
Hello, today we have Monica Umaña with us. She's the general manager for foreign investment with Procomer, which is in Costa Rica, and it's the government export and foreign investment promotion organization. Monica, how are you today?
Good, Steve. Very good. Nice to see you again.
Same here. Listen, could you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and the organization that you're working for at present?
Sure, absolutely. And thank you, Steve, for this opportunity. As you said before, my name is Monica Umaña. I am the manager for foreign direct investment at Procomer, an entity that was created since 1996. And we are in charge of the exports promotion and now the foreign direct investment attraction to Costa Rica.
So you must be excited. This is a new position for you. How are you acclimating to your new position?
It is new, but you know me, I have been working with foreign direct investment for the past 11 years. So I'm really happy. It's a big challenge, but I'm really happy because I think we have a very nice team inside Procomer. So we are creating a new unit and we have the rest of the team working with us. So it's amazing.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We have a few questions that we'd like to ask so that you could give us more detailed information about your organization. Can you tell us what the main objective of the new foreign investment agency launched by Procomer is?
Yes, absolutely. The main objective is generate jobs, opportunities, and of course, well-being for all the people. You know, we're trying to generate a sense of well-being in all the regions of the country. That's really important for Procomer. With a very clear objectives that promote, attract, and retain investment that boost employment and exports, of course, in the country with a solid particular value proposition that is consistent with the needs of Costa Rica in terms of the geopolitical reality and the global trends.
What are Procomer's priorities with this new strategy?
That's important, Steve, because as I said before, we are trying to attract new foreign direct investment, but of course, that is linked with the generation of new employment, linkages, economic growth throughout the country. We look for to develop new strategic sectors to attract foreign direct investment towards the free trade zone regime. And of course, the final regime, that's important also, the new models in terms of the attraction of foreign direct investment. We are trying to diversify the countries of origin of the projects that we are looking for Costa Rica. We're trying to improve the investment climate in order to boost competitiveness and to generate employment and linkages beyond the great metropolitan area. I think we are trying to contribute to the development of human talent and to encourage a social and environmental return in foreign direct investment.
You know, you just mentioned the greater metropolitan area.
Mm-hmm.
I know that one of the priorities of the administration that is in place in Costa Rica now is to get a diversity of investments throughout the country geographically, and these would be things in the more rural areas. Could you address that a little bit?
Absolutely. You know, we have been very successful in terms of sectors such as advanced manufacturing, medical devices, services in general, not only services, corporate services, but also digital technology. But we're trying to focus very much on looking for projects like agricultural projects, production, value added outside the great metropolitan area. You know, we have a new legislation to promote the investment outside the great metropolitan area. So that's something that we are working really hard. But I think it's important that we also are, as I said before, creating a new team that is going to have not only people that is going to work with the investment outside the great metropolitan area, but we're going to keep our eyes with the sectors, the strategic sectors like the medical devices and manufacturing and services. So we're trying to have a balance since we are looking for projects in the rural areas, but also working with the strategic sectors.
What kind of resources does Procomer have at its disposal to execute the strategies that you're going to put into place?
So, we have been the #1 trade promotion agency in the world, according to the International Trade Center, and we have more than 25 years of experience in the administration of the free trade zone regime. That is one of the main incentives for the companies when they choose Costa Rica, because we offer fiscal incentives. But we also have more than 26 trade promotion and investment offices with extensive knowledge and international experience, which will be implemented in new markets. We have experience also with 7 regional offices outside the great metropolitan area, with first-hand knowledge of needs of the different areas outside the great metropolitan area, and we are adding new colleagues to the team in that regions. So we're trying to improve what we already have had in the past.
Well, why would a company want to come to Costa Rica? What are the advantages of being there? What does the country have to offer investors? Could you give us a little bit of information about that?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's one of the greatest part of my job, talking about Costa Rica and why a company should visit and invest in the country. And I think concerning investment attraction, Costa Rica has transformed to become a global hub for foreign direct investment. The country consistently outperforms competitors due to its unique brand, the strategic geographical location, the strong value proposition, and we are #1 country performer in the global foreign direct investment landscape. The country is one of the strongest and oldest democracies in the Western Hemisphere. We stand out as a beacon in the region due to our political and economic stability, the way in which we uphold and respect the rule of law, and how we enforce elevated standards of protection of the environment and the defense of human rights. Actually, we also understand well how these characteristics weigh on consumer markets demand, which are growingly caring more about how and where things are produced and how much they cost. Costa Rica has a very solid track record as a suitable and competitive destination for FDI, with more than 400 multinational companies with presence in the country, with dynamic and productive operations. And actually, they are continuously and successfully evolve and reinvest. And Costa Rica targets the attraction of specific sectors, as we were talking before. One of the reason was semiconductors, with the announcement from the US, according to the CHIPS Act funds that Costa Rica is going to receive soon. But these involve activities that help enhance and accelerate our country's technological transformation and consolidation in value chain, like medtech, pharma, and biomedical research in the health sector that we discussed previously, but also knowledge-intensive corporate and digital services in the services sector. Important, as I said before, semiconductors, but electronic components, technology enhanced agribusiness in manufacturing, it's also really, really important. And as the newest member of the OECD, Costa Rica is a reliable and trustworthy partner for investors. Incentives, again, we have a new legislation to attract new business outside the great metropolitan area, but Costa Rica offers the free trade zone regime to national and foreign companies that wish to develop their operations in the country, with the aim of encouraging FDI, commercial exchange, and job creation in the country. And definitely, last but not least, talent. Costa Rican people, one of the greatest attraction for investors due to its high specialization in many sectors.
One of the things that I've always found interesting is that Costa Rica disbanded its military at the end of the 1940s and basically has been putting the percentage of money that the GDP would have dedicated to the military to education and health. Maybe you could mention a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. Since 1948, we don't have an army, so that made us one of the most stable country in Latin America. As I said before, the oldest democracy in the region, and as you mentioned, we dedicate 7% of our GDP to education. One of the reasons a lot of companies choose Costa Rica, since we are not the cheapest country in the region, but we know the quality of our labor pool and the reason why the companies analyze and choose Costa Rica. Education is free and mandatory, and we have a very strong system with the technical high schools and the national training institutes. Of course, universities is another big resource in terms of education and labor pool. And healthcare, that is a universal system. We dedicate 8% of our GDP to the system. It's a national coverage and also is ranked one of the best in Latin America, thanks to what you just mentioned before.
Many of the companies that we as a Central American group speak to are impressed when they go to Costa Rica, the amount of bilingual talent there is. Can you tell us about the education process for languages in Costa Rica?
Yes, absolutely. We have been doing big efforts to include English as part of the curricula in terms of since high school, and a lot of technical high schools that are dedicated to bilingual careers, like the preparation for the people for the services sector. They have outstanding performance in terms of the kids. And you know, when I took investors to the technical high schools and they listen the presentation of the students, I mean, they are very well prepared and they are having very good standards. And the National Training Institute, they also have specific courses for bilingual people. So that's one of the main challenge, and also one of the main goals in terms of education, to prepare the people for the request of the companies, the new companies, specifically services sector.
Well, thank you for answering all of our questions. One of the things that's pretty consistent about these podcasts is that people who listen to them have further questions that arise from the information that they hear. So could people who are listening to this podcast get in touch with you if they have further questions about Costa Rica and investing there?
Absolutely, absolutely. I can give you my direct email. You can write me to mumanad@procomer.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer any other question, and of course to promote Costa Rica as a destination for new foreign direct investment.
Okay, thank you again. And what I want to mention is that we're going to put all your contact information in the transcript section on our webpage. And we're also going to, if it's okay with you, put a link to your LinkedIn profile. Is that fine?
Absolutely. That's fine. And I appreciate that, Steve.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Have a great day and lots of luck in your new position.
Thank you, Steve. You too. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Sign up to receive the Central American Group's quarterly newsletter by visiting www.thecentralamericangroup.com.